Everything that I need to get back up, I have in me. If I don't have what I need, I can go get it.
I too had the power to shape history and not just be passively shaped by it. That sense of infinite possibility we have as children to think big and conquer great things was returned to me here.
Raising the bar, if you are constantly pushing yourself higher, higher, the law of averages, not to mention the myth of Icarus, predicts that you will at some point fall. And when you do, I want you to know this, remember this, there is no such thing as failure. Failure is just life trying to move us in another direction.
All you need to know to change anything is A, you're never gonna feel like it. You're never gonna feel ready to start that business. You're never gonna feel ready to have that hard conversation. You're never gonna feel like getting out of bed. You're never gonna feel like it's a good idea to apply for that promotion. We're designed to stay comfortable and safe. So if you know that you're A, never gonna feel like it, and B, that no one's coming, it's up to you. You're not a kid anymore. I'm dead serious about this. Like so many of you are waiting to be picked. By who? Are you making the most of your life? And the answer is yes, if you pay attention to what you do in 5-second windows. Are you the kind of person that when your instincts come alive and they want to nudge you to go talk to that cute gal across the way or raise your hand in a meeting and share that idea? Are you the kind of person that pushes yourself to step into that? Or do you pull back? That's the power of a 5-second decision, because you can't choose how you feel. You can't. Yeah, maybe you can go and become a Buddhist monk and meditate for 4 months and get full control of your physiology, and yeah, technically you can control how you feel, but you and I can't. We got a job, you got kids you gotta raise. You can't, that's not possible. So you can do something else. You can actually disregard your feelings. You can become the kind of person that is so in tune with the values that you have and what you actually want, that when feelings rise up, you can choose to act however you want despite them. Even if you're tired, you can still go to the gym. Even if you're annoyed with your spouse, you can still speak in a manner that's loving. Even if you don't feel like doing that hard work, you can still push yourself to do it. Your feelings aren't a choice. Your behavior and your thoughts are always a choice.
You know, even now when I accomplish something, I don't care how many people come up to me and say, congratulations, you did really well, this is a cool thing. When I lie down at bed, I literally hug myself and I'm like, you did really good. That was a really good thing you did today. Even today, with all the people that are validating me, it still means something for me to tell myself, you did a really good job. If I'm having a bad day, this is something I've practiced for years, I will talk to myself as well. You know, if I had a really bad meeting, I'll get into my car and I go, that sucked, it's okay. You know what, we're gonna do better next time. And it's just about being your friend. You know, just like how you would talk to another friend, you gotta talk to yourself the same way. And it's a journey. There's no easy solution. There's no like, now I love myself. It's a process, it's a journey, it's gonna be hard, as all things are.
Time to time, you may stumble, fall. You will for sure count on this. No doubt, you will have questions and you will have doubts about your path. But I know this, if you're willing to listen, to be guided by that still small voice that is the GPS within yourself, to find out what makes you come alive, you will be more than okay. You will be happy, you will be successful, and you will make a difference in the world.
That was I had to see who I was hanging around. And, you know, miserable people want company, you know, and I had to literally be willing to not only relocate my mind, but relocate my body so I can relocate my finances, and relocate my possibility, relocate my son's future. I was very clear the future my son was gonna have if I didn't do something. And I was not subscribing to that, not on my watch. My son's father went to prison when he was 8 months old, and he's been in prison since my son was 8 months old.
Whoa.
My son turns 22 this year. My son is an African-American male child living in South Central Los Angeles when, at that time, he had a 66% chance rate of going to prison, not on my watch.
Could you imagine if that were your last breath? We get a measure of breath. Could you imagine if your Lord, my Lord, whomever, the higher power, told you, hey, you get 50,000 breaths? Would you have that conversation that you've been delaying? Would you argue with that person that isn't worth your time? What would you do? What are you doing with your measure of breath? Examine people, places, and things. My mom used to tell me, Drew, don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Volunteer to be vulnerable. It is the biggest and best measure of courage, according to Brené Brown. Vulnerability will reveal your true essence, your core, who you are. Be vulnerable. An empty space. So many of us go through life, including me. See, I'm a survivor of child sexual abuse. And for the longest time, I went through my life declaring that I was a victim of child sexual abuse. I'm a conqueror of child sexual abuse. But I had to empty out the memories. I had to stop memorizing the memory. Many of us in this space are going through life filled with old memories, filled with things that are not real, the illusion of our past. And it's causing us to become stuck, wondering why we haven't made it in to that place in life, that promotion, that marriage. Why we ain't fitting in them skinny jeans. Just remembering how good those Doritos taste. We need to stop memorizing the memory. Empty the space.
And so, what happened for me is I realized as my life was circling the drain and we're facing bankruptcy and Chris is on the couch, that this was not the situation that I wanted. I didn't want my life to end in divorce. I didn't want to be in financial ruin. I didn't want to be depressed. I didn't want to be anxious. And here's the truly screwed up thing. I knew what to do to fix it. See, this is the trap that most of us are in. Most of us know what we could do to change things for the better. And we spend our time and our energy talking ourselves out of doing those things.
I'm not perfect. What I do really well is I manage my imperfection well. And so we're all waiting for perfect. It's an illusion that will never come to you, and it's an excuse to never show up and play. Your story is not meant to be your fortress. Your story is meant to be your fuel. Any story. Like the beauty of me being one of the top 1% earners in America is that I was on government's assistance.
Right.
Like, that's the beauty. Like, come on, it wouldn't be a big deal if my family was rich or whatever. Like, I'm supposed to do something. The beauty is that when you show the little engine that could story, like, I'm not gonna run fast, but I ain't gonna stop running. I might slow down and have to breathe and catch my breath, but I'm not stopping because I believe all things are available to all of us. And good people should do well, because when good people do well, good people just do more good in the world.
This entire career path has been everything but comfortable. No part of it's comfortable. So even on the days when I come home and I think, that was horrible, that audition was horrible, I can literally feel part of me evolving as like, okay, but you did it, and now you know for the next one what to do. You'll know what to expect for the next one. And those scary things are all signs that you're doing the right thing, because you're growing. I have this thing where I like to visualize things. I know, because it's easy to talk about all of these things and then talk about Tumblr quotes and like, oh, cool, success. But when you're actually down to it, it's hard. It's hard walking into an audition, for an example, and then doing really badly and going home and thinking, well, oh, well, I stepped out of my comfort zone, so I should be